On this day in history, we remember the remarkable individuals who shaped our world. Welcome to Who Died Today in History, where we honor their legacies. From artists to leaders, their impact lives on. If you find their stories meaningful, like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay connected.
Thank you to all our amazing channel members for your generous support.
A magnetic presence can ignite an entire era, and Bettie Page did exactly that, capturing hearts, stirring controversy, and redefining beauty with a single glance. Bettie Mae Page was born on April 22, 1923, in Nashville, Tennessee. Even as a child, she loved performing, and she spent hours practicing poses from movie magazines long before she ever stepped in front of a real camera. Her rise began almost accidentally. In the early 1950s, photographer Bunny Yeager discovered her on a Florida beach and immediately recognized something extraordinary. With her trademark jet black bangs, bright smile, and effortless confidence, she became the undisputed queen bit of pinups. Her playful yet bold photographs, especially the ones taken in Miami and New York, set her apart in a crowded modeling world. Then came the iconic jungle images, where she posed with live cheetahs and handmade costumes, solidifying her as a cultural phenomenon. By mid-decade, her popularity surged to heights few models had ever reached, with her image appearing everywhere, from calendars to men's magazines. Behind the camera lights, Bettie was introspective and surprisingly shy. She read extensively, dreamed of becoming a teacher, and often spoke about her desire for a quieter, more grounded life. Fame never sat comfortably with her, and she eventually stepped away from the spotlight entirely, seeking privacy and a deeper spiritual path. Bettie Page died on December 11, 2008, at age 85, after suffering a heart attack and pneumonia in Los Angeles, California. She had spent her final years mostly out of public view, carefully protected by those closest to her. News of her death spread quickly, and the world reacted with a mix of sadness and admiration. Tributes poured in from photographers, fashion designers, celebrities, and devoted fans who saw in her a symbol of freedom, confidence, and unapologetic individuality. For many, it felt like losing a bridge to a bolder, more daring era. Today, Bettie Page remains an enduring icon whose influence is visible in fashion, pop art, tattoos, and the body-positive movement. She helped shape modern ideas of beauty, empowered countless women to embrace their image, and left behind a legacy that continues to inspire new generations. Her spirit lingers in every photograph that reminds us of the power of confidence, courage, and undeniable charm. The world rarely sees a performer who commands the screen with quiet power, emotional depth, and a presence that lingers long after the credits fade. Braugher was one of those rare figures. He was born on July 1, 1962, in Chicago, Illinois, the youngest of 4 siblings. Even as a child, teachers noticed his remarkable focus, a trait that would later become a signature of his work. Braugher's rise began on the stage, but his breakthrough came in 1989 with the gritty war film Glory, where he delivered a performance of calm intelligence amid chaos. True stardom followed with Homicide, Life on the Street, where his portrayal of Detective Frank Pembleton became one of television's most celebrated dramatic roles. His layered acting, intense, introspective, and razor-sharp, earned him widespread acclaim and an Emmy Award. Years later, he reinvented himself in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, turning stoic Captain Holt into an unforgettable comedic icon. Few actors transition from drama to comedy with such mastery, but Braugher made it look effortless. Outside his career, he lived a grounded and private life. He was devoted to his wife, actress Amy Brabson, and their 3 sons. Friends often mentioned his love of reading and his habit of carrying books on set, quietly immersing himself between takes. Braugher died on December 11, 2023, at the age of 61 in New Jersey, after a brief illness. The news arrived suddenly, leaving both colleagues and fans stunned. The reaction was immediate and heartfelt. Fellow actors shared stories of his discipline, his kindness, and the generosity he showed younger performers. Social media filled with tributes from people who felt touched by his roles, whether through the fierce conviction of Detective Pembleton or the deadpan warmth of Captain Holt. Today, his legacy endures through the characters he inhabited so fully. He showed audiences that strength can be quiet, humor can be subtle, and depth can appear in the most unexpected places. His performances continue to inspire new generations of actors and viewers, reminding us of the extraordinary impact one artist can have through authenticity and craft. Braugher's life reminds us that true greatness lies not in force, but in presence. A voice that reshaped modern Gothic literature fell silent, yet her stories continue to whisper across generations with haunting clarity. Anne Rice was born on October 4, 1941, in New Orleans, Louisiana, a city whose rich, eerie atmosphere would later seep into nearly every line she wrote. Even as a child, she was drawn to the mysteries of faith, death, and the supernatural, themes that would define her career. Her rise to fame began with a single, transformative novel, Interview with the Vampire, in 1976. What began as a short story written after the death of her young daughter grew into a worldwide phenomenon. The book reimagined the vampire not as a monster, but as a tortured immortal, burdened by memory and desire. Its success led to the Vampire Chronicles, a sprawling series that introduced unforgettable characters like Lestat and captivated millions. Another milestone came when Hollywood adapted Interview with the Vampire in 1994, bringing her work to a new global audience and cementing her status as a literary icon. She later expanded her world-building through ambitious historical novels, religious epics, and tales of witches and ancient spirits. Away from fame, Rice had a quieter and more introspective side. For many years, she wrote late into the night, often surrounded by candles and music, creating an almost ritualistic environment for her imagination. She had a lifelong fascination with questions of morality and faith, and her spiritual journey shifted dramatically over time, influencing the tone of her later works. Anne Rice died on December 11, 2021, at the age of 80, following complications from a stroke in Rancho Mirage, California. Her passing came unexpectedly, and for many readers, it felt like losing the narrator of their own inner darkness and wonder. The world reacted with a wave of tributes. Fans gathered online to share the books that changed their lives. Fellow authors praised her fearless storytelling, while critics acknowledged how she redefined the Gothic genre for the modern age. Her son, Christopher Rice, announced her passing with heartfelt words that echoed the depth of their bond. Today, Anne Rice's legacy lives on through her novels, the continued adaptations of her works, and the resurgence of interest in character-driven supernatural fiction. She showed that horror could be beautiful, that monsters could feel deeply, and that even the darkest stories could illuminate the human soul. Her imagination still walks with us, lingering like a whisper just beyond the candle's flame. A voice like hers could drift between genres and generations, leaving listeners wondering how one artist could contain so much quiet, restless brilliance. Esra Mohawk was born Sandra Elaine Hurwitz on April 23, 1948, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. From an early age, she showed a rare musical instinct, teaching herself piano by ear long before she ever read a note of sheet music. Her rise began in the vibrant counterculture scene of the 1960s. She gained early recognition working with Frank Zappa's Mothers of Invention, an unusual starting point that showcased her fearless creativity. Not long after, she released her debut album, Sandy's Album Is Here at Last, which earned praise for its raw honesty and adventurous sound. But it was her 1970s work, especially the album Primordial Lovers, that cemented her status as a cult icon. Critics hailed it as one of the most passionate and visionary records of the era, filled with spiritual longing and emotional intensity. While she never achieved mainstream stardom, she became an artist musicians quietly passed along to one another, the kind whose influence spreads more through admiration than charts. Away from the spotlight, Mohawk lived a life shaped by introspection and a deep spiritual curiosity. She followed a path of personal transformation, exploring alternative beliefs and adopting a gentle, introspective way of living that echoed the vulnerability in her music. Ezra Mohawk died on December 11, 2024, at the age of 76 in Nashville, Tennessee. She passed away after battling complications from a stroke, leaving behind a body of work that felt both timeless and deeply personal. News of her death stirred a wave of affection from fellow musicians, longtime fans, and music historians. Social media filled with reflections from artists who had been moved by her songwriting, many noting how her music shaped their early understanding of what emotional honesty in art could sound like. Today, Ezra Mohawk is remembered as a singular voice, one that never fit neatly into a category and never tried to. Her songs continue to spread quietly, exchanged between those searching for something authentic, something gentle, something human. Her legacy reminds us that true artistry isn't always loud or widely celebrated. Sometimes it lives in the hearts of those who truly listen. A life in the spotlight can fade quietly, yet its echoes linger for decades, shaping how we remember those who once lit up the screen. Claire Carlton was born on September 28, 1913, in New York City, a place where performers and dreamers crossed paths daily. As a child, she showed an early love for theater, often memorizing entire plays just for the joy of reciting them. Her rise in Hollywood came during the 1930s and 1940s, when she appeared in dozens of films across genres. She became known for her sharp comedic timing, playing quick-witted supporting characters who often stole scenes from the leads. One of her memorable moments came in The Ghost and the Guest in 1943, where her lively performance added warmth and humor to the mystery. She also worked steadily at studios like RKO and Monogram, gaining a reputation as a dependable actress who brought energy and personality to every role. Though she never became a headline star, she was a familiar face, the kind viewers instantly recognized. Away from the cameras, Claire lived a surprisingly quiet life. She was an avid painter, often creating small, colorful landscapes that she gifted to friends and colleagues. Few knew that she found more peace in front of a canvas than on a movie set. On December 11, 1979, Claire Carlton passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 66. Her death was attributed to natural causes, marking the end of a life that had once shimmered brightly on the silver screen. It happened far from the hustle of the studio she had known so well. News of her passing brought gentle reflections from film historians and classic movie lovers. Those who remembered her spoke of a woman whose roles may have seemed small, but whose presence left a lasting charm. She embodied the unsung performers who helped define the tone and spirit of Hollywood's golden era. Today, Claire Carlton's legacy endures in the films that continue to circulate among classic cinema enthusiasts. She represents the character actors who made stories fuller, funnier, and more human. Each appearance serves as a reminder of how even a brief moments on screen can leave an imprint on generations. Her light was subtle, but it never truly disappeared. A life can change the world in quiet ways, and Percy Kilbride proved that even the softest voice can leave a lasting echo. Percy Kilbride was born on July 16, 1888, in San Francisco, California, and grew up in a family that encouraged creativity. As a teenager, he stepped onto the stage for the first time, discovering a natural gift for gentle humor and understated charm. His rise to fame came through years of steady work in theater, radio, and early film, but one role would define his legacy forever. Kilbride became beloved as Pa Kettle in the Ma and Pa Kettle series, first appearing in The Egg and I in 1947. His relaxed delivery, dry wit, and effortless timing created a character audiences felt they truly knew, an everyman who made people laugh simply by being himself. The films grew into a phenomenon, and Kilbride's portrayal became one of mid-century Hollywood's most comforting fixtures. Even in smaller roles outside the series, he displayed a remarkable ability to steal a scene with minimal words, relying instead on expression and presence. Away from the cameras, Kilbride lived a quiet and deliberately private life. He never sought the glamour or social circles of Hollywood, preferring evenings at home, gardening, and keeping close ties with a small circle of trusted friends. Those who knew him often spoke of his humility and the gentle patience that made him so distinct both on and off the screen. Percy Kilbride died on December 11, 1964, at the age of 76, after suffering severe injuries from being struck by a car in Hollywood several months earlier. He passed away at Good Samaritan Hospital in Los Angeles, his life ultimately claimed by complications from the accident. News of his death traveled quickly across the entertainment world, prompting tributes from colleagues who remembered him not just as a gifted actor, but as a kind soul who never lost touch with the simple warmth that shaped his most famous character. Fans mourned the loss of the man who had given them laughter during some of the most challenging decades of the 20th century. Today, Percy Kilbride remains a symbol of gentle American comedy, a reminder of a time when humor found its power in sincerity and quiet observation. His legacy endures because he showed that kindness, even when softly spoken, can live on forever.